promote family harmony. I like to say that an estate plan is one of the biggest gifts you can give to your family. Certainly, you will feel better when you have an estate plan because you will know that you've done what you must do or should do for estate planning. But the family harmony piece is how that is promoted by a good estate plan is your estate plan is a clear roadmap. It says who is responsible for doing what. I just talked about how your POA, that's the who, is responsible for doing what, for managing your personal affairs, your financial affairs. An estate plan also says who will get what when you have passed away and who has the responsibility for making sure that your wishes under your will or under your trust are carried out. The person who's responsible is called the executor or the personal representative, or if it's a trust, the successor trustee. But they will be carrying out and implementing what we call your dispositive wishes. By that I mean what goes under your will or what goes through your trust once you've passed. The roadmap is with clarity, it's without ambiguity. A good estate plan anticipates things that could happen, like, well, what if somebody died? Then who gets it? Your estate plan will say who. So there's not going to be this uncertainty or this, which leads to the potential for arguments and disagreements among your beneficiaries. And ideally, that once you've passed away, your executor will be working with the attorney who prepared your estate plan. That attorney has a lot of information about you, about what your wishes are. And yes, it's clearly set forth in your written estate plan. And your executor doesn't have to go back to that person. But if it was a good estate planning and elder law attorney that you were comfortable with, it usually works well for your executor to go back to that same law firm to help administer your estate. So think about a good estate plan as protecting not just you and your wishes and your family and your money, but very importantly, and to promote family harmony, protecting that person that you've designated to be the responsible person when you can't be the responsible person, either due to incapacity or due to your death. Protect that person. Make sure that they are not going to be subject to attacks by other family members or by beneficiaries of the estate. There are ways that a good estate plan will make sure that you do everything to keep that person safe from attacks. And when I say attack, I'm not talking physical attack. I'm talking about legal attack or emotional attack. Think through, make sure that they are protected. A good estate plan will do that. Let me give you an example. So we're talking about family harmony and promoting family harmony. Everybody's situation is different, and not every family has what we call family harmony. That doesn't mean you don't want to do your best to make it as good as possible. So here's my example. Let's say you are a single person and you have 2 children, one of whom you're very close to and the other you're estranged from. Without an estate plan, your 2 children will inherit equally under the laws of intestacy. And that probably wasn't what you wanted, but you took no action, so that's the result. Let's say that you realize that you don't want your 2 children to inherit equally, so you go to an estate planning and elder law attorney, and they prepare for you a good estate plan. What happens then upon your death? Well, your estate plan said everything goes to the one child. The other child is disinherited. That disinherited child has no grounds for arguing against how the assets are going to be divided because you had a good estate plan. It was not prepared under undue influence. You had an attorney involved who will testify and stand behind your will or your trust, whatever the platform was for you to pass your property on your death, to say, no, this person knew what she was doing, and she disinherited this person because they were estranged or whatever the reason is. So by having a good estate plan, you are protecting the person who is carrying out your wishes and protecting the people who are receiving your money from those who might claim it. A couple of tips from things that I've seen in others' estate planning documents. If your will says that let's say your will is set up because you don't want to give one of your children any money, but your lawyer said, let's just put in, I give them $1. That's a really bad idea, because by giving them $1, you gave them rights under your will. You see, if you would have said, I disinherit my child, then the only rights that they would have is because they're your child. They are what we call an heir at law. They need to be given notice of the probate, but that's it. They don't have any right to challenge anything unless there's some complicating reason that we're, don't want to squirrel on right now. In that, assuming I need to move more, obviously, that, you have a good estate plan, they're not going to have any right to challenge, and they have no rights. But if you said, I give them $1, guess what? Now they're entitled to money from your estate. And yeah, you can probably solve it pretty quickly by giving them $1, but then it's best to get a receipt. Anyway, it complicates it, and there's no reason to give anybody $1. And if that child has passed and they left 2 kids, now you've got to, find the grandchildren and give them each 50 cents. So just a tip. If your estate plan, your will says I give them $1, it's time to review it, because that was a really bad planning idea. So in order to do your best, either to promote and achieve family harmony or keep the person who is maybe the bad apple from causing problems, you can achieve that by having a good estate plan.